Hello and welcome to Spinster's Library. I'm Claudia and this is the 15th episode in my Bookish Favourites Advent Calendar, and you will find the rest of the playlist in the description box. Today I want to talk about Forster's Maurice. When I was putting together this playlist, I was trying really hard to narrow it down to one book per author, but Forster does feature twice in this list because both Howard's End, which was the very first episode, and Maurice are just so special to me. This book was completed in 1914, however it wasn't published until 1970, after Forster's death. And if you read the book, then that becomes quite obvious because it deals with the topic of sexuality in a more direct way than any other Forster novel. The themes of sex and sexuality and sex within societal norms is almost always present in Forster's work. But in Maurice, it really becomes the main conflict, the main topic of the novel. The main character is a young man named Maurice, obviously, and he is born into a kind of upper middle class family. At university, he falls in love with one of his fellow students, a man named Clive. And Clive is sort of from a slightly higher societal rank, and they have a relationship while at university. But after university, Maurice wants to keep up this relationship and he wants to be able to express his sexuality freely. But Clive, who feels more restrained by the position that his family expects him to be in, is more opposed to that, and the two grow apart. And then the rest of the book is about how they each develop their own paths in life, and they are almost like two versions of a young gay man in the 1910s, and how his life could unfold either in one direction or another. This has got everything I love about Forster's writing. It has, of course, it's got romance. Forster is, of course, an author who always writes about love and romance in a really deep emotional way that I feel is very easy to connect to. But it's about society, it's about finding your place in the world, and it's about weighing up the pros and cons of conventionality. Like most Forsters, this has quite a large amount of societal satire in it. It's got a very subtle humour, but I do feel that this is much more melancholy and much more serious than his other novels. I really think this is a book that should be much more well talked about, and maybe part of why it isn't is because it was only published so late in 1970. But if you think of this as a book from 105 years ago, then you truly appreciate how groundbreaking and how modern it is for its time. But even outside of the context, this is a beautiful story. If you have read it, let me know what you think of Maurice, and if you haven't, I really hope you pick it up, especially if you have read some other Forster works, if you enjoy early 20th century fiction, or if you want a true piece of gay literary history. See you tomorrow, and thank you for watching. Bye!